Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.
What's going on, everybody? This is your main man. I go by the name of Tech Supreme. Welcome to episode 16 of Rent Free. I want to start by apologizing for taking 2 weeks off. It's been super busy, and sometimes I just wasn't able to carve out the time to create this. I shoot it all by myself. I edit it by myself. I come up with the topics. This is a one-man show, which I'm very happy to do. But these last couple weeks, I just wasn't able to knock it down. But we're back this week, and going forward, we're going to work really hard to make sure that we're consistent as possible. So thank you for hanging out today. Thank you for listening. I do appreciate your presence. Without further ado, let's hop into the topics. Of course, our first topic is going to be the journey update. Now, it's been wonderful. I've been losing weight. Last week, I definitely hit a weight loss plateau, which sucks. But what I'm going to do is introduce a lot more cardio into the mix. Not a lot more, but at least 30 minutes a day of cardio. Trying to add that into already the weightlifting regime. I was trying to get away from cardio. Well, I was bike riding a lot, but the temperature dropped, so I wasn't able to do that. And we have a Peloton, but I just don't use it as much as I should. So I started working on that a little bit more. And today I woke up and went for a 30-minute walk, and I'll probably do an evening walk. So maybe 30 minutes to an hour. Just try to get as much casual, low-impact cardio as possible to kind of get past this plateau and get the ball rolling again. Now, Saturday, we had a Halloween party, and it was fantastic. I did drink, so my streak of not drinking ended Saturday and starts back up Sunday. So I went 54 days, and this time we'll probably go something 40-something days, because I know in December, me and my wife are celebrating our 1-year wedding anniversary, and we're going to be on an island. All-inclusive island resort. So, there's no way I'm not going to have drinks then. So, it's a healthier relationship than drinking every weekend or every few days or even sometimes every day, or beer here with dinner or whatnot. So the relationship is much more healthier, much more sustainable, and much more geared towards a healthier lifestyle. So it's not like I'm trying to go for a whole year straight, which I did before, of not drinking. It's not like that. I'm just trying to be healthy overall, and plus still be sustainable. You know what I mean? So there's a balance to be had. There's a way to do it. Obviously, the way I was doing it before was not healthy. Drinking as often as I was. So I do appreciate these long, basically drinking on special occasions. And I think that's where I'm going to be going forward with this sobriety. Which is fine, And it's weird because when you tell people that you're not drinking, they automatically think you had a problem. It wasn't a problem. It's a problem because you gain weight when you drink. So it wasn't like an alcohol problem or anything like that. It was just an unhealthy relationship, which I think most people do have an unhealthy relationship with alcohol. I think the majority of people, especially if they drink on a regular basis, which is something that I didn't really pay attention to until I was sober, until I was abstaining from alcohol use. I think a lot of people should look inwards on that one and see what is too much, right? Do I need to drink every week? Do I need to go do I need to crave it every few days or every day? It's very interesting when you pull yourself out of the equation, especially over such a long period of time, where you kind of just see things differently when it comes to alcohol. But as far as the food's going good. I've been eating super clean outside of Saturday and a little bit Sunday, but Sunday I got back on track. Really, really quickly. We had way too many snacks in the house from the Saturday night party. So Sunday woke up with a few snacks in mind. Plus, I had a raging hangover because I did not drink for 54 days. And my wife was like, "Yay, you didn't ease it back in gracefully. You kind of just dove right in." But I had a really good time with friends, which is my second topic, which is a Halloween update and being a better friend. So I love Halloween. I didn't get the outfit off that I wanted to get out. the last week was a crazy week, so I just really wasn't able to dedicate all the energy I needed to dedicate to my Halloween costume this year. Normally, I try to go all out. I was able to get some cool prescription colored contacts. They were red sclera contacts. My makeup didn't go as planned, and my prosthetic that I wanted to make didn't go as planned. I think next year I'm gonna go ahead and do clay as the prosthetic base, and then liquid latex on top. I think that would have worked better, but I didn't know that. Well, I knew that, but I didn't have the time the week before to order it and practice. So I think next year will be better. I definitely want to go into the prosthetic realm where I change the actual makeup of my face, not the makeup on my face, but the actual look of my face, right? Like if you look at Lil Nas X, his Halloween costume was, I don't know the character from Harry Potter, but he was a character from Harry Potter, and he had like a huge brow, his nose was different. I want that face altering molding next year. So that's something I'm a geared look towards. Also, I have a huge crazy list of running of backlogged hobbies, and one of them is cosplay. So one of these days I'm gonna dive in, get some EVA foam, get a fucking glue gun or whatever the fuck, and try to figure out how to cosplay. Because I love it so much. I love looking at cosplay. I love going to Comic Cons and seeing all the different cosplays. That's a really fun thing for me. And Halloween is the perfect cosplay day. But honestly, you can cosplay anytime you want to. So I want to definitely get into that in the future. As far as being a better friend, one thing I've noticed recently is that my friends have been getting together a lot more with the moving of one friend and the housewarming party of that friend, and we went to go see Dune together as a group, as a friend group. And last Saturday, this is the past Saturday. I was gonna say last night, but today's Monday. We had people, my friends came together, and which I wasn't sure they were gonna come because every time I throw a party, I always get super nervous that no one shows up. I don't want to be I don't know. It's a weird mental thing for me, but they all came and we all hung out till 3 a.m, and it was super fun. And I just want to set out to be a better friend. I have admittedly not always known the blueprint of being a good friend. I don't think I'm a bad friend, but I think I could be better, right? I feel really bad about not being attentive in my friends' children's lives, if that makes sense. I have a fear of children. I know this is weird, but through an incident that happened to one of my high school friends, I've developed this crazy fear of children, especially babies. I've never held a baby before, and I never will. I don't want to. It's too fragile. It's too I can't do it, right? So that's extended to I feel I don't know, because some friends know I'm friends with some friends' kids, right? But not a lot, right? So I don't know. It's a weird thing that I need to work through, but I want to be all into my friends' lives and even hang, have a relationship with the kids, friendship with the kids, because those are my friends, I'm watching these kids grow up. I mean, I have friends that I've seen their children go from babies to young adults, and it's the coolest thing in the world. So I just want to be a better friend all the way around. I'm taking a lot of cues from my wife because she's a good friend to her friends. So I'm working on that. Something that I'm working on. But it was really awesome these last couple weeks to spend time with my friends and to appreciate their presence, and hopefully they appreciated mine. And moving forward, I want to keep that going. I think we all get into a rhythm of our lives, and we kind of tend to not really incorporate friend time, but I think we should. I think it's healthy. Absolutely. So that was my Halloween update and being a better friend update. Next, we all know the news about Alec Baldwin and the unfortunate incident on the movie set of Rust. So basically, if you don't know, they're shooting a Western, and somehow or another, Alec Baldwin was giving a gun to shoot at the camera. It's supposed to be filled with blanks, but there was something else in it. It wasn't cleared properly, and it discharged through the camera and shot the director of photography. And she passed away. The director of photography passed away, which is very unfortunate. Rest in peace in her, and condolences to her entire family. It's a horrible accident that I haven't seen the likes of since Brandon Lee and The Crow. I guess that was the 90s. I don't understand how that happens. Apparently, there's an ongoing investigation. Alec Baldwin just kind of released a statement to paparazzi saying like he was a very emotionally charged statement, which he's saying that he can't talk about it since it's such an active investigation, but he's completely heartbroken and like it's sad. It's a very sad situation. Now, the girl who's the armorer, who was the person in charge of the gun props, was basically a nepotism hire. Her father is big in the industry, and that's how she got the job of lead armorer, although she has very little experience to none experience. A lot of people are coming for her, which is probably rightfully so. I hate to admit it, but if you don't do your job correctly and someone dies because of it, then you should be held somewhat liable. Now, should she go to prison? No, I don't think so. I don't think she should work again in that field. And at the end of the day, someone lost their life, and it's unfathomable how they feel. And you really hopefully this is not in vain, and the loss of life strengthens the guidelines so that this doesn't happen again. Maybe possibly this could have strengthened the guidelines back then with Brandon Lee. But it just didn't last the test of time. So hopefully this never happens again, because it's an unfortunate accident. But what can you do? It is what it is. Now, moving on. I say moving on a lot, and I always wanted to figure out like what's a different way to say moving on. Up next, but no, I'm not going to do that. So I got into a large discussion on Reddit a couple weeks ago. And it birthed this concept in my mind of not explaining racism. I've already kind of had this thing where I don't argue with strangers. If you don't know me, I don't owe you anything. But I also will not explain racism to people. Like, I know that's kind of weird, but if you don't understand in 2021, if you don't understand what racism is and what racist is and what can be offensive to someone, then I have no way to teach you this. Like, I'm not going to take my time to teach you because you're willfully ignorant. You choose not to at this point. Now, if it's, I might have mentioned this before, but if it's someone that I care about and they come to me with a genuine question because maybe they're not exposed, they're not exposed to culture, they're not exposed to diversity, then I'll take the time to explain. If if I know you, if I love you, for family. But if you're a stranger on the internet and you're trying to argue and be a troll or whatever, or like even if you're generally not trying to be a troll, maybe you just don't know, it's not my place to teach you. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your healer. I'm not your friend. I'm a stranger. You need to find someone close to you to help you. It's not me. So when you come with these comments and I see these comments and they want to go back and forth, I won't answer your questions. How's that racist? It's not up for this debate. Like, I don't have to explain it to you. You know what I mean? So that's my energy going forward. One of my homies saw a post about that being my energy, and he was like, yo, like, ever since you said it, I'm doing the same thing. Like, I'm not going to explain racism to you. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I don't care. Stay the fuck away from me. And that's just my energy in 2021 going to 2022. I'm not here to teach. I'm not here to do anything for you. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds like super callous, but if you're online and you're trying to tell someone like that's not racist, and you're not in that group, you're an asshole. You're a fucking idiot. You and I do not have the privilege or the right to say something is racist or not if it does not pertain to our group. Same thing could be said with the Dave Chappelle trans attack. I am not in the position to say that's wrong if I'm not a part of that group. That's a lesson I learned many years ago. If you don't get it, you probably never will, right? Like, you don't want to get it because that's so simple. If I'm not in a group, can't tell you what's right or wrong to that group. Simple. But people seem to mess it up, and mix it up, and that's on them. They do it on purpose, I think. But also in the same vein, I have the theory that people are just, like, a lot of people are just stupid. We'll get into that in another episode. But, truth be told, you are on your own in this world, right? Like, I had to learn. There's many things I had to learn, right? Like, many things about different groups and culture and that I had to learn, but I seeked the knowledge because I don't want to be ignorant, right? I don't want to be hurtful. I don't want to be a dick. So I want to be able to help and be a good person to society, be a good person. People seem to want to miss that. But that's neither here nor there. moving on. And if you can come up with a better word than moving on, please send it to me because I'm gonna forever say moving on. Island Boy. Now this is gonna be a real quick segment because it's the dumbest shit in the world. Why, as the internet, as Al Gore's internet, as I think Stage Kev says, why is the people who get popular usually are so fucking dumb? And this Island Boy thing, which is definitely, it couldn't happen anywhere but Florida, where these two kids who are clearly from a privileged household are tattoos on their face and their hands and their bodies, crazy hair, grills, and they're doing this Island Boy thing. Now, if you haven't seen it, go to TikTok, type in Island Boy, go to YouTube, go to anywhere by this point and type in Island Boy. It's the dumbest song, it's the funniest thing, and it's stuck in my head. It's been stuck in my head for days, and is that the reason why stuff like that gets popular? Because it's catchy, it gets stuck in your head? I don't know. But why do dumb people get famous, right? Like, I'm a graphic designer by trade, and there's just a wonderful account on TikTok, and she's generally funny, right? She always, I saw her TikToks before she started doing this graphic design line, but she would just be like doing things wrong on purpose, right? But then acting completely like it's the right way. So then she started doing graphic designs, and it went viral internationally, and brands are using her designs, and that's grand. And I'm not hating, but like there's so many talented artists in the world that don't ever get any type of exposure. But then you have someone making fun of design, and they get all the exposure and all the money, and it's weird. And I'm not hating at all again, even though it sounds like a hater. But I think it's just weird that we award talentlessness all the time. And if you don't believe me, Kardashian. Moving on. This is one that's joyful for me. Too many people aren't gonna care, but I stumbled upon the greatest toy store that I've ever been to. Greater than FAA Schwartz when I was a fucking kid. This is the greatest. So, if you don't know, I am a Funko Pop collector. Funko Pops are vinyl figures. I'll put this one like this, right? This is a Notorious B.I.G. Funko Pop from Toy Tokyo, which is a very exclusive-esque store in New York City. But yeah, this is a Funko Pop if you don't know. Now, being a Funko addict, I have over 550 of these Funko Pops. And I'm always on the hunt for them. I'm always trying to, go into the stores and getting the ones on release, ordering online, blase. Going to Comic-Con. I've gone to Comic-Cons the first year me and my wife were dating. We went to Chicago to C2E2 just so I can go Funko shopping. Now, it so happened that a bunch of my homies were going too, so that was also a very fun trip. But that was the main purpose for me, was to go Funko shopping. I've gone to San Diego Comic-Con with the homies, and I bought Funkos. That was my main mission. So I'm all in, right? And there was a store in St. Louis called FYE, which it's a national store, but they closed, and they had the best collection. And so I've been kind of only really going to Hot Topic to get them, or Box Lunch to get them, or Target to get them physically, because there's no other stores. But I was taking my car to the shop last week, and I cut through this parking lot to get to a Starbucks, in which I didn't even get that day, so that's a whole different story. But I look over while I'm driving, and I see this Saga Toys. And I know of the toy store because it used to be around the corner, but I'd never been into it, right? I wasn't sure if they even had Funkos, but for some reason, they had like a 20 fucking foot, probably exaggerating, 10-foot Funko poster. And I said to myself, they must have fun. They have to have Funkos. So Friday night, my wife was stuck at work. I was bored. It was about 6 o'clock. And I'm not even really on Facebook, but I hopped on Facebook to look at Saga Toys. And the first thing I see is this crazy post about Funkos. Like, they have 600 Marvel Funkos. So I'm like, looking at the clock, it's like 6 something. They close at 9. It's Friday night. I ain't got shit to do. I go there. When I tell you, it was the most, like, moment ever. It was like wall-to-wall Funkos, huge display. They have Chase. They have limited editions. They have everything. And so I'm in there for like 30-40 minutes, and I go to check out, and I talk to the owner. His name is Rich, and he was like, I was like, how long you guys been here? And he was like, oh, we moved here 2 years ago. We were around the corner, but the space only allowed me to have about 400 or 500 Funko Pops, and this space now I have over 4,000. And man, I told him I will be back. Yeah, it was. I don't know how to explain how excited I am to even go back. I told my friends about it, and they looked it up, and they're like, "Oh, now we want to go." It's such a dope store. So shout out to Saga Toys. I'll be back. I know that has nothing to do with nothing, but it brought me joy, and that's what rent free is. What brings me joy and pain in my head. So yeah, this is kind of tied into the journey update, but I put this at number 8 for whatever reason, because I have a list of notes. Joining a gym. I'm going to join a gym again. Now, I was supposed to finish the garage, insulate it. It's a separate garage. It's a 2-car garage. My wife parks her Tesla in it, and I park on the street so I can have gym space. So I have a big cable machine that's kind of wonky, but it was free. I have a squat rack, and I have a dip rack. And I got my plates. I got my barbells, my Olympic barbells. I got 2 sets of dumbbells. I need more, but I decided that I don't think I want to battle the elements this winter, especially with being on this health journey and focusing on the nutrition side and making sure I get my workouts in as much as possible. I decided that like last year, the weather got so cold out there that it was hard to grip the bar because my hands were freezing, and it's steel, it's metal. So I decided I was just going to join a gym this year. I don't want the gains to get derailed. I don't want the mission to get derailed. I want to make sure that I'm losing the weight properly. I want to work out. I want to build back muscle. So I made that decision. Now, when I went to go look for a gym, I wanted to look at there's a new one in Ballpark Village. It's like $45 a month. But the facility doesn't look that appealing to me. It looks nice, looks great, but it doesn't look like it's serviced to be a gym for lifters, if that makes sense. I read a bunch of Google reviews, and they kind of slammed it. A lot of people were slamming it. Let me know, do you guys look at Google reviews and like base your decisions on that? Because I feel like that's the best way to. I will look at Yelp and Google reviews. I'm that type of guy. So I was gonna look for more gyms, and I looked around, and I don't think I can do like. I can't do Planet Fitness, even though the price point is low, but they only go up to like 50-pound dumbbells, and I'm used to hundreds. Planet Fitness, I did that for a while, for years, and I lost a lot of weight fucking with Planet Fitness, but there honestly isn't one around me anymore. They kind of closed all the ones that I would go to that was remotely in the area. There's one in South County, but I've been to that one when I first started dating Erin, because it was around the corner from her condo. And I just never liked it. It felt way too small. It just wasn't my type of gym. So I reached back out to Fit City, which is where I was working at before with the Sawyers, which my friend's family. We were there for years, so that place is already near and dear to my heart. It's not too far. But I just wanted to see my options before I sign back up with the gym. But I think it's gonna end up being back to Fit City, which I'm looking forward to. Having everything in one place, and then I'm still going to keep my home gym, especially the days that I don't feel like going to that gym. I'll just go into the garage and do whatever workout I was going to do. So yeah, I think that's the plan, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to going back into the gym, getting that routine. Plus, I also work from home, and I'm home a lot, so this gives me an opportunity to actually step away from that, which I'm absolutely 100% looking forward to, having somewhere to go daily that isn't in front of my computer. Last topic is a Gabby P update. We're not going to get too deep into it, but if you follow the podcast, we talked about it quite a bit, and I feel like I'm spitting a lot, but that's neither here nor there. Gabby P, cursor body was found, and now they found Brian Laundrie, the boyfriend. We don't know what happened exactly, but we're pretty sure that he killed her, then killed himself. What's fishy about this one is the parents found the body after joining the investigation in like 15 minutes, which lets me know they knew exactly where he was the whole time. Should they be caught up on charges? Maybe. Something, right? They have, obviously. It's too much of a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidence like that. It's just like you have a world of people searching for this body, and then the parents get on the set, and they find it in 15 minutes. Like, get the fuck out of here. You knew the fuck where he was. You're not slick. You know what I mean? Like, you knew exactly where it was. You led them to him. You should be held responsible for something, right? Like, at least thoroughly interrogated to find out what happened, because since he killed himself like I said he would, because he's a coward, we don't know what happened. And I think we're all invested enough into this case. where we should know what happens. Unfortunately, I want to see in the future where we give all cases like this that type of attention. All right, you don't have to be like a small white woman to get this garner this much attention for being missing. So in the future, I hope that we can take this and learn from it as a society, and try to give as much exposure to people who are missing as possible. I don't know if that's gonna ever happen, but it is what it is. So I keep saying that too, which is a horrible saying, but I mean, what can you do, right? It's outside of everyone's control. Well, that's it for this episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme, episode 16. Thank you for hanging out. There's going to be a new episode next week, I promise. And if you can, hit the share button on whatever platform you're listening to this on. It really helps me out if you spread the word. And if you like the podcast, please do so. Like, that's the way that it costs you $0 and it helps grow the podcast, which is desperately needed, because why else would we do anything in the realm of content creation if it's not to spread the content? Again, thank you for listening, and I will see you guys on the next episode of Rent Free with Tech Supreme. Play the music. Let's go.
Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Listen, you have rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.